Huang Renxuan was a little annoyed. He has always been gentle in an interview, rarely shows impatience, even say it directly. The host is the loser mentality.
Loser attitude, that loser premise makes no sense to me.
What the hell happened? I studied the interview carefully. Discover this debate. It's not an emotional problem at all. This is a two-worldview game. Head on. Huang Renxuan said loser. It is not aimed at the host. Instead, to a card. Doubts about China's chip behavior. Let's go back to the interview together. An hour ago, Huang Renxuan talks about Ari. Liao Yingweida. Peking opera continues. The atmosphere is harmonious until the host. A question about China was raised. He said, why sell to China's most advanced Ari chips? In case China relies on advanced chips, develop a powerful model. What to do if it threatens the information security of the United States? He also made an analogy. It's like Boeing. Sell weapons to North Korea, then say, don't worry, pour the shell is made in the USA. This strengthens our technical system. How ridiculous this is. The implication is clear. You old yellow. Is it to make money? Even national security is disregarded. This question is very acute. Huang Renxuan was very upset. He directly said that this was illogical.
Because it's a lousy analogy. It's an illogical analogy.
But he still patiently explained to the host, train topper models. It doesn't have to be the latest chip. What does it mean? China has long had a large number of 7 chips. The performance is close to that of the British Great Hopper. Many models are trained on Hopper. And China can pile up quantity. Forks and tanks chips stacked together. Coupled with China's abundant electricity, energy complete infrastructure, the total computing power is just as terrifying. So want to pass the blockade of chips, stop the development of Ari in China. The idea is a bit naive. He is still very restrained here. What really made him lose his patience is the host's next question. The host said, both Tesla and Apple have sold things to China, but in the end, it was caught up by local competitors. Chips are sold to China. Will something similar happen? Huang Renxuan was at this time uttered the word loser. He said you are not talking to a born failure. This loser mentality does not make sense to him because he doesn't sell simple chips. It sells a complete set, a development environment that programmers all over the world can't do without. CUDA. What is CUDA? For example, if the NVIDIA GPU is the computer host, then CUDA is the Windows system. In the past 20 years, more than 4.5 million developers worldwide all write code on CUDA, train the model, develop applications. This is the real mode of NVIDIA. But chip control hits. It is precisely this mode. Why? Because it puts Chinese developers forcibly from the CUDA ecosystem, pushed out. Before, leaving CUDA is about settling accounts. The cost of 100 billion is too high. Enterprises are reluctant. But now there is no choice. You have to migrate. If you don't migrate, that's how Chinese developers are. It is likely that another system will be created. This is the reason why Huang Renxuan is so good. Here. Many people may say, having said so much, isn't it because DA wants to sell more chips? There is nothing wrong with this. Who doesn't want to make a little more money? But Huang Renxuan cares. In fact, it is a more important thing. Ecological dominance. In Huang Renxuan's view, the ultimate goal of Ari competition, not stronger than anyone's model. Who chips sell more? Instead, whenever a developer starts carrying it when training the model, is it their default choice? This is ecological dominance. So what is the benefit of gaining this dominance? If your technical path, it has really become the default choice for developers. At least 3 things happen. The first is money. Developers write code with your tools. Companies use your computing power to train models. You don't just make money for chips. It's every calculation, every training, money for every application. Then there is speed. Once developers all over the world, all with your chips and tools, then every time an open source model is released, each optimization algorithm is equivalent to validating and promoting your technical standards. You didn't pay them, but every bit of their work is helping you evolve. Finally, there is competition. When your technical path becomes the default, how to design the interface, how to train the model, how to build the system, it's all up to you. Even if others want to replace it, it must also be compatible with you first. When you define interfaces and standards, you define the way you compete. So what Huang really wants, it's not about selling more chips. Instead, it helps the United States take control of the ecosystem. But the chip blockade policy in the United States is giving up this dominance. In the interview, Huang Renxuan said words that left a deep impression on me. Once one day, models like DeepSeek. First of all, It ran out on Huawei's chips. That for us, it would be a disaster.
That is a horrible outcome for our nation.
Why disaster? You think ARI will not stop at China and the United States. It will definitely spread to the future. Southeast Asia, Middle East Africa. Developers in these places. I won't study which ecology is more advanced. They just watch which ecosystem has the most tools. The best model to use is whichever one you use. Today, most of the world's best open source models run on CUDA. But if China is forced, another complete ecology has been built. The model in that ecosystem began to spread around the world. The global default standard has changed from the United States to China. Huang was angry about this. In the interview, he used several parallel sentences to express it. His dissatisfaction with this policy.
Why would you want United States to give up the world? The chip industry is part of the American ecosystem. It's part of American technology leadership. It's part of the AI ecosystem. It's part of AI leadership.
Huang Renxuan is sober but also weaker, and what he was most worried about also became a reality yesterday. DeepSeek V4 released the first Huawei Ascend chip. Chinese companies fulfilled Huang's prediction. Finally, I would like to say there are two worldviews in this world. A worldview that believes in zero-sum games. Think that the world is a coliseum of stock competition. Strength comes from weakening the opponent. Safety building comes from walls. Another worldview believes in the game of positive harmony. He believed that the world was open production. Strength comes from continuous planning. Safety comes from irreplaceability. Which of these two worldviews will win? We don't know, but at least when the opponent appears inside because of fear, so when the sound of the door closing, it may mean that they are no longer confident in winning. Pay attention till you run. Lower the cognitive threshold of business.